When we leave people guessing about what to do, we set them up for failure. Direct, concise communication is the best way to clarify expectations. Welcome to the Drew Coaching Podcast. My name is Eric Drew, and Drew Coaching raises up leaders who shape the future. The podcast is a weekly boost for your leadership in 10 minutes or less. This is season 3, and we're looking at 3 cheat codes for uncertain times: clarity, competence, culture. So for 3 weeks now, we've been talking about clarity. While we're surrounded by confusion, division, and a dizzying pace of change, clarity is the first cheat code. People and teams that are clear about their purpose, outcomes, values, and expectations will rise to the top. Now, while we're talking about expectations last, the skill we're going to practice this week may be the most important. That's because having a clear idea in your head, or even down on paper, it doesn't help everyone else. Clarity must be communicated. So as we focus on clarity of expectations, you're going to see and experience that concise, direct communication is how we achieve clarity of expectations. And really, that's true about clarity for everything else too. So to start, I want you to think a little bit about, do people understand what you expect? If you want to answer this question, you can look at your recent interactions and feedback you're getting. Are your expectations being met? Are they clear to those around you? Clarity of expectations is achieved by focusing your message, repeating it over and over again, and regularly reviewing progress. Let's look at each of those. The first step is to focus your message, and this is one that I'm practicing recently. If I'm moving too fast, if I have too many projects and priorities in front of me, if my head is cluttered with too many thoughts, I lose clarity. That's when I start to improvise what I'm sharing and communicating, and things get a lot less clear. Clarity comes from focused thinking. Now, I'm all about the creative process. Make sure you have time to dream and brainstorm. But you won't achieve clarity if you stop at dreaming and brainstorming. We all need to create the time and space to focus our thinking. Now, I like to use a few questions for this. What's most important here? What needs to be done? Are there any guidelines or parameters that are important? Once I'm clear about those, I tend to be able to focus with a concise, consistent message. When you are focused, that's when it's time to repeat it over and over, and maybe over and over and over again. I don't want you to tell people what to do. Clarity of expectations really has to do with setting others up for success. You don't want them guessing at what is important. So the goal here is to empower others by concise communication so that they can take the expectations and move toward action. That's why we have to repeat the message over and over again. 20 years ago, there was a study that found that people need to hear something 7 times before they remember it. But that was 20 years ago, and since then, we are more distracted and surrounded by messages and pleas for our attention and time. A lot more. Once you focus your thinking, you must keep talking about it. I want you to talk about what is important until other people are tired of hearing it. And I'm telling you, people need clear, concise, consistent messages. Repeat your purpose, outcomes, values, expectations, time and time and time again. Finally, to achieve clarity of expectations, it's really important to regularly review progress. Maybe this has happened to you before. You prepared a project launch, or you made a big announcement, or you got your team excited about a new idea, and then time passed, and weeks or months later, it kind of just sat. No major movement, no momentum, maybe other people, maybe even you, forgot about it. The danger for me is that I get swept up in other things. So to be clear about expectations, we must be checking in to review how we're doing. Now, this goes hand in hand with repeating expectations and what is important over and over again. And I think this could be easy. First, by reminding people of the expectation, what's important. And second, all you have to do is ask, how's it going? Again, in uncertain times, people need the most important messages to be repeated. They need to be reinforced by following up on action and progress. Regularly reviewing progress will reinforce expectations, what is important, and ensure that things don't get stuck. So this is our last week practicing clarity before we turn to the next cheat code. And we're trying to wrap all of these skills and practices together. For clarity of expectations, be concise and direct. To do that, focus your message, repeat it over and over, regularly review progress. Communicate in this way, and you will cut through the uncertainty with strong messages and progress. So as you're working on this, let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how clear are your expectations? What would be different if you scored a 9 or a 10? Are you naturally concise and direct in your communication, or what gets in your way? Finally, is there one step, focusing, repeating, or maybe reviewing, that needs the most effort from you this week? Hey, I continue to hear from you that we're in uncertain times. I don't think that's going to change. But as we work towards clarity, I think you're going to help make things better wherever you are. I'd love to see you on social media. I'd love to hear about your goals and progress. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and now Facebook, bringing you more content so that you can follow up and grow and practice the rest of the week. I'd love to see you there. And you can also find the show notes, Drew Coaching Online. It means a lot when you share all of this stuff with those in your community. So I'm grateful for you because you're a leader, you're a creative. The world needs your voice. This week, clarify expectations. As you do that, I know you'll continue to raise up others, bring hope to life. We're in this and we're better together.